Hi guys, it's Rocko here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we've got special guest KWEEN. They're on Solana, but they're also on Luna and Luna Classic. It actually started on Luna Classic. So listen to this podcast, guys. We start usually talking about Bitcoin, crypto, and then we have Coach Bruce, one of the key guys who started the Luna Classic burn narrative. Around the hour to hour and a half mark, that's when he actually shares a lot of alpha on KWEEN, how KWEEN is so big. If you study how meme projects go, it's a very good example. If you're trying to look for good meme coins to buy, or you're looking to grow your own meme coin, you learn a lot of new things what they're listening to these spaces. So enjoy the spaces. It's a long spaces, but as usual, guys, you learn a lot of things. These are the longer format content for people that really want to support me. If you enjoy the content, guys, do hit that like button and subscribe. Every like, retweet, comment really helps the channel out, and we can bring on bigger and better guests. So guys, enjoy the spaces. Start off talking about Bitcoin, crypto, Luna Classic. Then we have two guests, Coach Bruce and Milo, who go into solo, from the KWEEN project, who talk about creating those videos, the KWEEN videos that a lot of people are enjoying, and KWEEN has pumped a lot since then. So enjoy the spaces. I'll catch you guys later with another good video. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're all doing very well. Welcome to our Sunday spaces. We'll be talking about Bitcoin, crypto, and maybe about this AI meme coin KWEEN as well. And as usual, we'll be talking about Luna Classic. We've got a special co-host today, DJ Trev. He's a fellow KWEEN holder like myself. We have invited a few guests. We'll see who we get on these spaces. As usual, you don't really know. You have an idea plan, and then you just let the spaces go as it, the questions that come in and the guests that join in. But we'll see how it goes. I am just walking home, guys, so apologies if there's any background noises. But let me introduce you our special co-host, DJ, and then we'll talk to Jewish as well. DJ, how you doing? DJ, can you hear us? DJ, you're on mute if you're trying to ask questions. Okay, we'll go to LL whilst we wait for DJ.
Hi, Rocko. How are you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. DJ's having some issues. He can't hear me, so let me message DJ. He'll have to rejoin. If you carry on talking, LL, and looks like Terra Civita joined. I'm not sure if that's our usual guest. Rexy's joined from Terra Civita, but yeah, LL, if you carry on talking, I'll try and fix DJ's Twitter Spaces issue.
Yeah, sure, no worries. Let's just find out who's hiding behind Terra Civita. Is it you, Rexy?
Hello there. This is it's the first time we've ever used the team account for a spaces, so you're kind of honoured.
So, I think you once joined with the casino account. I'm not sure, but not with this one. So
no, that wouldn't be me. That'd be somebody from the casino, I should say.
Oh, possible. So, anyways, welcome for the first time, Rexy. Terra Civita.
Yeah, I've been, I guess, kind of approached a few times in terms of, why don't you use the team account? It does so much for the ecosystem that, maybe you should kind of have it more kind of represented. So I thought, well, okay, why not? So, yeah, so I guess here we go.
Okay, DJ can hear me now. DJ, can you speak? Okay, I can't hear DJ. LL, can you?
No, me neither.
Yeah, DJ, you'll have to come back.
No, I can't either.
Okay, I mean, LL, maybe you can start the conversation because you actually bought KWEEN before me, right? So maybe you can tell your story about KWEEN, and it's a sad story, I guess, because if you held, you could have been a big holder.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I want to talk about sub stories. So, yeah, before actually KWEEN, I was actually holding KWEEN before we started the Rakoff journey. So yeah, it was sort of an inspiration, and a friend of mine came to my place and I showed him like this old KWEEN website. I think they updated it now, but back then it was like maybe I can find videos somewhere and send them to you. But it was like this website where you had the music, and I think it was like a KWEEN song. I showed it to him, and he was like, "What the fuck is that?" And I told him like, "Yeah, I invested a little bit of money." Then he asked like, "How do people create this stuff?" And I was like, "I can show you." And that's how we started with Rakoff, actually. So yeah, that's the story. And at some point, I think I was, I don't remember exact numbers, but I think I had like 5% of the supply. That was before the big crash, but I bought like the dips after the first pump when it was really small. So yeah. I'm not holding the tokens today anymore. That's why it's a sob story. So I sold them off with a little bit of profit to provide liquidity for jurors and stuff. I was intending to buy the tokens back, but since I was busy and distracted with the juror stuff, I just forgot. And then I think I saw it when DJ was starting to make tweets about it. I'm not sure, I don't remember, but then I saw it going up. And yeah. So the lesson is always leave a moon bag if you exit something, I guess.
Yes, you were a hodler before me. I'll give sort of my introductions. I saw Coach started posting, I think around 1 million, or maybe even less than 1 million, but I didn't buy then. I had a couple other guys message me, and I got sent some token as well, and I just didn't buy it until it was, I think, about 10 and 15 million, and then it went to 50 or close to 50, but I was away in Thailand then, so I didn't sell. And I love what they're doing as well, because it's quite unique compared to other AI agents. And if you look at like Mindshare, they're really quick to just get videos that are prevalent with what's happening. So like with Thread Guy, when he came out, when what happened with Argentina, even the hack with Bybit. So yeah, I think it can do quite well. So mine's not a super sob story, but a bit of a sob story, I guess. But DJ, what's your thoughts on KWEEN? What is going on with DJ today? Maybe DJ just have to be a speaker. Let's see if that works.
I hope he's not playing the old age card in saying that, he's struggling with his hearing because we're about the same age.
How's that? Am I here?
Yes, you're the same age as DJ.
Yeah, we're both teenagers.
I thought you were a lot older than DJ.
Wow.
Cheeky bugger.
I think I'm older than Rexy.
There can't be much in it.
Are you putting your age out there? You telling us how old?
What year are we in? Is it 2025?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm 53 at the minute then. 53. If you say it quickly, it sounds a little bit lower, but it's got to be bloody quick.
Yeah, you're a kid. You're a little fucking kid. I got you beat, brother. I'm glad you guys can hear me now. You still want to know how I feel about KWEEN?
Yes, well, we haven't got any guests. I know we were trying to get a few people on. Yeah, I mean, I've just DM'd a couple of them that said they might join, but I've not heard back from them.
I see Verdet here. You should invite.
Do you want to bring him up? I can't see. Or if you request to speak.
See him.
Because you're not a co-host now, so you might not be able to bring him up.
I mean, I am a co-host. No, I'm not a co-host, so I can't bring him up.
Yeah, because we couldn't hear you when you're a co-host.
Yeah, that's
is
fine.
Is that what the problem was, being a co-host?
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, Edel's a co-host. We can hear him.
Anyway, yeah. So I just real quick, I got into KWEEN back when the whole story between Rocko and KWEEN started. I had no idea what it was. But I was, kind of watching that whole thing unfold where, I don't know, Queen and Rackoff had some sort of relationship or whatever, and I just assumed, okay, this is going to be something that's going to kind of connect with what we're doing here. So I grabbed a small bag, and honestly forgot about it. Forgot about it for quite a while. Every once in a while, I would check some of my other stuff in that wallet, and I would notice that that was just kind of sitting there, not doing anything. I had no idea what was being planned in the background, or that anything was happening with it. It was there. I held on to it. I didn't have a lot of money invested in it, so I just left it. Then one day, I went in to check that wallet, and I saw that the thing was moving. I'm like, holy shit, this is alive, right? um, and it took off. It absolutely took off from there. So I DCA'd in a little bit more, and yeah, it's just kind of been a little bit of a beast since then. I mean, yeah, it's come back down, but the engagement with the community is phenomenal. These videos that Solo is putting out are, I mean, I've never seen anything like them. Particularly in crypto. And I think that this, is eventually going to grab hold and kind of take off. So, at this point, I think I probably at the beginning, or all told, I'm probably in for, I don't know, a couple hundred, maybe a few $100. And right now it's worth about $1,100. Maybe a week or two ago, it was worth closer to 3 grand. I mean, it's a great investment. It's a great project. It's a lot of fun. It's a real cult kind of thing that's going on. There are a lot of things about it that confuse me because I'm not really a crypto Twitter kind of guy. So a lot of the videos that have been put out lately, about these different people, this vape cabal, and all these other people, Murad. I don't know who these people are. Maybe everybody else knows who they are, but I have no idea who they are. So I kind of don't get the joke, but I can still appreciate the unbelievable effort that's put into making these videos, and how well together they're put. So yeah, I'm loving it, man. I'm enjoying it, and I'm just along for the ride.
Awesome, thanks for that, DJ. And yeah, if you do see any Queen account, yeah, message me, or if you request it, we can bring you up. But let's see what happens. The market is down. Not just Queen. The soul memes have just got absolutely slaughtered. Some of the bags I had, especially on Goat, AI16Z, they just round tripped. Goat and it's weird saying it, Fartcoin. They're both down from my entry as well. So yeah, it's the crypto, especially on Sol, has been just down only. BNB's taking a lot of attention. Let's see if BNB memes stick. Sol's not been great for me in terms of meme. Apart from Queen and a couple others, Libra just left a bad taste in my mouth. But we're seeing what CZ is trying to do with pumping BNB meme coins. Maybe I've aped into a couple already. Maybe I'll push some of them. But yeah, meme coins have taken a bit of a hit. So once that starts coming back, attention comes back, then yeah, I think Queen would be in a good position to capture that attention. We've already seen the mind share that Queen has got. So it'd be interesting to see if it can, when Solana hype comes back again, if it can start pushing higher. In terms of this week, Bitcoin hasn't done anything. Last few spaces that we've done, I just come up and say Bitcoin hasn't done anything, because literally it's just going sideways. Bitcoin is in a range, even though there's lots of crazy stuff happening around the world. And there was a massive hack, one of the biggest hacks that's ever happened in crypto, in terms of dollar value. If you look at the hack back in, I forgot the exchange now, the biggest hack, Rex, if one of you guys can remind me, back in 2014 or 2016, there was a massive hack. That exchange, it was before my time. In dollar value, that is higher with the current dollar value, but at the time it wasn't. So it's a massive hack. They hacked Ethereum. There was just a clever North Korean. I saw Rexy post it. Maybe Rexy can comment on that in a bit. But Bitcoin and Ethereum are looking really strong. So when Bitcoin and Ethereum are not dumping on bad news, that can only be good. Let's see how the stock market open later, because stock market took a bit of a dip, about 1% last or Friday before the markets closed, on Trump tariff news that he always comes out with. If stock market starts pumping and Bitcoin didn't dump on one of the worst news you can have, then I'd say he's bullish. Bullish for altcoins, bullish hopefully for Luna Classic as well. And we see prices going higher. So that's sort of what I've been following for news. Apart from that, there's not much else that I've been keeping up with. There might be a Kanye meme coin, but I know I follow crypto Twitter a lot closer than DJ does. But apparently someone's bought his Twitter. I don't know if it's true. So I'm seeing tweets that someone has bought his Twitter account and will be launching. He was retweeting CZ Binance a couple of days back. So I don't know if he's launching on BNB. That could be a big thing if he launches on BNB. But likely he was going to launch on Sol. That's where all the president and the celebrity coins been. So that's sort of the news I wanted to share. LL, have you been keeping up with the news?
Yeah, I'm also following. Like, there is this Kanye coin, and there is this controversy. I don't know. Like, it's. I also read that he might have like sold his account or like gave access to other people, leased it out. But then there was like an analyst who wrote that he can prove or like show to others that it must be Kanye who wants to like launch the coin or the token. But I don't know how to prove, that it's the same Twitter account or X account. So, but I will not ape the coin, I guess. I don't know. Like, it's one too much, I guess, after like the recent stuff.
So you're not aping Kanye coin?
I'm going to buy Rocko. If he launches, like if you're early.
Sorry, say that again, Juris.
Are you going to ape in?
No, I'm not. I mean, after Libra, man, I'm not aping into any of these coins. I've learned my lesson. Even if I miss a 10x, 100x, yeah, I can't take another hit like that. That was a big hit that I took on Libra. Yeah, I'm not aping any more celebrity coins. I think I'd rather ape dog coins and meme coins and AI coins than with a bit of a community. At least I don't think I'll just get rugged 70-80% overnight. So yeah, I'm staying away from it, mate.
Yeah, I get it. Makes sense.
That's a lot to be kind of rugged in one go into 80%.
Yeah, and it's a president's. I mean, I ranted at last Spaces Inter, so I won't go into a rant again. But my logic was, I saw it, I think, 10 minutes after it was launched. I didn't even look at the valuation. Maybe I should have. I did look at the valuation, but then I think I was up about maybe almost 2x. I was up. This was like Saturday night. I was out. I was on my phone trading for my trading bot. I just aped. I was like, oh, this is great. And I love Messi. I love Argentina as like a football team. I love like what Argentina is doing with crypto. They've got a huge inflation. I've seen a lot of documentary on how they use crypto. There was one project I work with off Shield on Kuzira that had someone from Argentina, and he told me how they use crypto to save money. They, the next day they go and, prices of bread go up, and they actually, in UK, there's probably not a necessity for crypto because we've got a good financial system already. I know it could be better, but in Argentina, they rely on crypto in places like, Africa and Nigeria, some, not Nigeria in general, like Lagos and stuff is quite developed, but some villages, they use crypto for payments. So like I just thought, crypto country, pro crypto president, I think this could do well. And that was sort of my logic. I was like, even if I lose money in the short term, I think this is going to do well. It's not going to be a rug. But yeah, what's come out now that it was behind like an influencer. He was connected with, I think, the daughter or sister-in-law of the president who got her to tweet. He said that it's not him. He sniped a big portion of the supply of 100 million he made, and he came out with the tweet. It was just really nasty, and yeah, it just left a bad taste in my mouth. I'd rather get, lose all my money on like a Luna crash than get rugged by scammers. And I mean, I'm sure other people have aped into that coin as well that got rugged. And if I keep doing what made what made me lose money, then what was Albert Einstein saying? You should keep doing the same thing, expecting different results. So yeah, I'd rather stay poor than try to gamble on celebrity and president coins.
Well, it's easy to be done, isn't it? And if you think about what's happened with Bybit this week, our understanding within the team is that that's the same method of attack as what North Korea used on Terraport as well. However, I'm pleased to say that Terraport didn't lose quite as much as Bybit. That's a massive amount, but I don't know, maybe not the right thing to say, but I just kind of felt that on behalf of all the people that was hacked and was victims of the Terraport hack, if you like, that a lot of their money went into Bybit, and we pleaded with Bybit to return it to the victims, and they won't have it. So, I know it's a bit of a agricultural term to use, but fuck them. It really pissed me off. I thought, I hate to see hackers and scammers and people like this be kind of successful, but when you've got a centralized exchange like Bybit that has basically helped money launder funds from somebody else that's been hacked, they've kind of got what they was expecting, really.
Could you talk a bit more about that? I mean, I listened to a couple of podcasts of how this hack happened. I think they change like an interface where they approve a transaction. Maybe you can explain that a bit more if you followed it.
I can't give you too much technically because that's just not my kind of forte. But as I understand it, it was contract manipulation where they made a normal transaction. They kind of falsified a normal transaction or something like that. That's my understanding. There's maybe somebody else here who's that can explain it in a bit more detail. But yeah, from the point of view of our team lab, so to speak, they said it was the same vector of attack, you might say.
Sounds good. Okay. What else can we talk about? Let's talk about Lunar Classic, I guess. This week there was the burn didn't happen again. Now I think we're talking about freezing it now. Again, that's disappointed me now. I think you guys know my views on that. Yeah, I think looks like we're going to be freezing the LFG funds rather than burning it now.
Well, my personal view on this is that I know some people will be disappointed. And from Terra Vita's perspective, we originally voted to abstain in terms of the burn proposal. But then on reflection of talking to a number of people, like Vegas and many people within the validators Telegram groups, we revised our vote on the last day, not the last hour, but on the last day to a no vote. However, our reasoning remained the same, that we wanted to make sure that no unwanted attention was brought to the Terra Classic chain and Lunc from regulators and people that have got the funds to carry out legal actions against us or any of the significant validators. Because once you start doing that, then you're starting to endanger the chain. So if, for instance, let's say you had all nodes that voted for these funds to be burnt, and then the court decided that actually it was within their area of control these funds were, and they decided to take some legal case against all nodes, then actually you could have all nodes having to pull out the Terra Classic ecosystem and everywhere else for that matter. They've got unlimited resources, haven't they? Some of these legal enforcers, so to speak. So considering that our interpretation was that by burning all this USTC, there's not really anything to gain from it other than lowering the supply, but then you also lower the market cap as well. So you're not actually going to raise the value of each individual USTC, you're just reducing the supply. So because there's no real gain, we thought, what's the point of increasing the risk massively when there's no need for that? So as we put in the memo, if we just sit back and take a time until either legal cases are closed or there's some kind of response from the courts or the players within the court to say that these funds are entirely within the control of the Terra Classic governance, if you like, in terms of what they can do with them. Until that point, we thought that we may as well just leave them as they are. However, in terms of this new proposal, which says freeze them, I think we would support that, because if you're freezing them, then the court can always say, hey up, can you release these tokens? We want to do whatever it is we want to do with them.
Okay, fair enough. I think, Jurish, are you on a similar stance to Rexy?
We discussed this internally, but I think freezing should be okay. It's a little bit too fast, but freezing should be okay, because freezing doesn't move the funds. And if somebody requests to unfreeze the funds, if there's court decision, we can still unfreeze them. I think the funds should be secured at least, and it should not be made easy to transfer them, sell them off or anything like that.
Yeah, I agree. I think if they're frozen, then that stops some rogue element from maybe gaining access to the wallets and burning it or transferring it or something like that, which is what we saw with the Terraport hacked funds when we proposed some code to the chain to say, can you freeze those funds so they can't be money laundered through Bybit, KWEEN and Mexi. However, back then the chain decided that that they weren't really bothered about that, and they'd rather see them, money laundered, I guess. So I think it's a lot safer for the chain if these funds are kept safe. Let's put it that way, frozen.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone would say we have nefarious intent or anything. We just want to protect the funds so that nobody can mess with the funds that are under court. So I think it should be okay. It's a good middle ground. I'd like to have a little bit of time, because I still think it's unlikely that there is going anything else to happen other than the funds being burned eventually. So.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think that will be the case. However, I think it's better for us to kind of wait and be 100% sure before acting kind of hastily. I know there's some I say representatives, people that are active within the chain is maybe a better terminology to use, and that are connected with validators that are writing letters to the court to ask for their feedback in terms of where they think responsibility for these funds lies. And I fed into this letter to a certain degree, and I advised them to ask for any reply to be worded in a particular way that will enable that reply to be publicised either on X or within Telegram groups, but publicised amongst the community without hopefully needing to be redacted, so people can see, clearly what the court's view is, rather than us all, trying to find out in our own particular ways.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense because we're not in a rush right now.
Cool. Anything else from Lunar Classic this week that caught your eye?
Well, I think this KWEEN token, I think that's bridged over onto Terra Classic as well, isn't it? And I must admit, I'll hold my hand up here. We all make mistakes from time to time. And I bought some of the KWEEN that was on Terra Classic, and it turned out to be a real pile of crap. And I think it was a bit of a scam. But fortunately, I just dipped my toe into the pool, and I didn't jump in and completely kind of ape into it. So I've gradually been kind of selling that, but the liquidity is something like about $50. So I'm not going to actually get much from it. But yeah, there's a bit of a moral to the story there, and that you know, just make sure you do your own research. And if you want to jump in really quick when something's low, you've got to be prepared that with it not being established, it could be a scam, which unfortunately, Rocko, you've kind of found that out the hard way, haven't you?
We actually bridged the Queen over from Solana to Terra Classic because we intended when like I told you guys my sob story, when I intended to, like initially we intended to open a pool and add liquidity with the Queen team. And we had an agreement and stuff. And I also had like this private Queen token I bought. And the issue back then, it's still existing, was that Portal Bridge does not allow, or the front end does not allow to send tokens directly from Terra Classic to Solana or to any other chain. So it's not working right now. And there is like this bridge run by community members in Terra Classic, but it's quite small. And it only supported BNB at the time. It was like a front end for wormhole. So you had to do multi-hopping. You had to bridge from Terra Classic to BNB chain, or Binance Smart Chain, and then to Solana in order to get the Queen back. That's why we never launched. But we actually registered the token, and I did like test transfers from Solana to Terra Classic. But there was no way to send them back via frontend, so that's why it never happened.
Yeah, Terraport's released their new bridge that's incorporated within the Terraport DEX platform. We'll have to have a look at that and see if that allows transfers. I'm not sure if Solana's kind of covered. Yeah, it's something to look at. But other than that, you know, the bridge that they've created and the UI on it, it's super easy to use. It's I'm really pleased with how that's turned out.
No, the bridge is pretty good. I tested it myself. I played around with it. I think tokens are not working right now. It only supports the native coins, like I think Lunc, USTC, and like the native coins from other chains, like BNB and stuff like this. But I guess the feature will be coming, right?
Yeah, I think if you think of this as being a version 1, I think it's, as with the rest of the platform, it's complete. It's regularly been revised and improved and kind of iterated upon, which is pretty much like most projects within DeFi, to be honest, isn't it?
Yeah, I assume so. It's like rolling releases, so it never gets boring.
Yeah, and just kind of reflecting back to, you know, the discussion on the USTC, I think the casino this week has listed USTC, so it's a coin that can be used within that. I know it's something we was pushing for them to do for quite some time, and there's many kind of posts on X as well. You know, so hopefully the community will really back Terra Casino in terms of, you know, using that coin within their platform. I think they've said within X as well that if there's a certain amount of usage of it or a certain amount of following within their posts to do with USTC, they'll even buy back and burn it as well, which would be, you know, fantastic.
USTC doing the price right now, like in terms of price? I think it recovered, like retraced a little bit, right? Is it 1.7 or something? 1.6?
Yeah, I'm not too sure, to be honest. I know I'm kind of jumping about a bit here, but just going back to KWEEN, I spend absolutely hours and hours supporting the community and networking, coordinating and things like that. And now and again, I jump into different spaces because I believe that if you want to engage with other communities, then you should engage with them on their own turf, so to speak. and and a community that I often kind of dip into, and it's absolutely fantastic. And that's Coach Bruce's community. So sometimes he'll hold a space and you go in there and it's like you've entered another dimension. It's just so funny. I was in there, I don't know, a few months ago, and there was, I mean, it's very surreal. I don't know if they're taking it seriously or not, but they would have one of them, there's maybe like a dozen people in this spaces, and that was active and many listening. And one of them would draw something, and then they would using not a USP, telekinesis or whatever the right word is for it. The rest of them would write down what they thought the shape was, and then they'd have a big discussion on it, and they was trying to harness some kind of extra dimensional kind of power to show that they could transmit thoughts to each other. And I thought it's so real. I mean, it's, I don't know how many people here smoke gear and stuff like that, but I should imagine you could have saved yourself a lot of money just listening to that, and you'd still thought you was as high as a kite. But it struck me that it was a real kind of interesting way to engage with the community. So rather than just talking about stuff, you'd actually got them involved in some kind of activity.
Yeah, I also once joined them to like drawing. I also had spaces with they do guided meditation. I think back then in 2022, they had a lot of spaces going on. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, some really random stuff they come out with, but it's ingenious. And if you look at Coach Bruce's tweets, I mean, within 2.5 years, he's gone from virtually nothing to 250,000 or so followers. And I think it's a fantastic sense of humor he's got. It is just so surreal. Half the time you wouldn't know whether he's being honest, just making something up, or, just, blowing smoke at people. But, it's certainly engaging, if you look at it as everything's based on humor, you can have quite a giggle at a lot of the stuff that they post.
Hey guys, sorry, I just got back home now. Sorry, thanks for carrying on the chat whilst I was walking home. What did I miss?
Some really good stuff, to be fair.
Have you shielded the next 10x coin?
It's already done a 10x, mate, since you've been walking. You've missed out.
Oh no! Let me 8 pin now, and I can be exit liquidity like the Libra coin.
Yeah, I guess in terms of meme coins, I think probably AI is the way that it's going to go. I think there'll be lots more coins that kind of harness that type of, I don't know, kind of meme value and technology. Maybe kind of ride the wave, maybe use it in, various kind of novel ways. And going by the spaces that I think, was it last Tuesday that he was in as well, Trader, where you'd got that, I can't remember the name of the team now, so I do apologise.
Coles, that's
it. I mean, it was fantastic what they was doing. I really enjoyed that space. I'm glad you connected with them.
No, thank you. I've obviously got a big bag of Coles. I hope it does well. It's also the connections that they've got. It is up, by the way. If people I'm shilling my bags here, but it is up since doing the spaces. It's up about 50%. The chart was down quite a lot with the AI coin taking a hit, but it is going up. Hopefully, with the connections that they've got with Mario Nafal, which I think most people here know. When the bull market does come, it can push up. But I agree with you there. I think AI is something that has got substance. Meme coin is just mind share, which is really important. By the way, I'm not having a go at that. Meme coin is great, but I also wonder that. Is that the best way to grow this industry? And after 4 or 5 years, is that what we want our industry to be known for? When I speak to someone about crypto now, they're like, "Oh, is it a meme coin thing?" Oh, I know it's just Ponzinomics and meme coins. It has changed. I don't know if it's a phase. I think it's here to stay. but in what form, I'm not sure. Maybe in the form that we talked about with AI, maybe in like a community form. But I think I think those gives it a bit more utility than just meme coins. That's my thoughts. I think meme coin is here to stay, but in the right form, where it's got a cause, it's got a mission, where people can get behind something, and there's like a common understanding, like a common goal of the community, and having fun. Those are things that will stay, but it'd be great to have some utility as well. Maybe we should. Sorry, go ahead, Rexy.
I think it's interesting you said that, and just as you're speaking it, a kind of thought kind of came into my mind. In the traditional world, you have people who spend obscene amounts of money on art, tens of millions of dollars on artwork, which is just a picture that's stuck up on the floor. And I know we've got our NFT version of it within crypto, but I think many of these meme coins will become the virtual art of the currency world. You'll hang on to a meme coin because, you like that kind of artistic flair behind it in terms of the team. But you're kind of sharing that amongst many other people.
Yeah, that's the example that people use when we say, why is NFT got value? Why is, meme coins got value? That's what they come back with. And it is a valid point. We see, artworks worth millions, and it is all the branding, community, and it's very hard to know. It's very hard to build that. And when something, I think there's a bit of luck and timing as well. If you drop something, it connects with people. It takes sort of its own mind, its own journey. Like I've listened to and spoken to meme coin founders, and they had an initial plan, and it was just something took off completely differently. So it is exciting. I think it's something that Lunc should use more. And on these spaces, I've got some connections in Hedera, so I'll be probably doing like a meme coin spaces with them. Maybe, if we can get in with Sol and BNB, that's where the most volume is, right? Or XRP. I know Terra Casinos here, they've tried to involve the XRP community. If we can work with some of the other communities on meme coins, that could definitely be a utility for Luna Classic, on top of what we're building with Juris, Terraport, Elban, Garuda, Selen, all that cool stuff. With meme coin, I think it could give us, there's so many, like even now, to be fair, there's only 30 people listening. I thought, we usually get a lot more people, but there's so many investors in Luna Classic. If you look at community or engagement, there's still loads of people in the community. So if we can pump some meme coins and you tell your friends, bridge over to Luna Classic. I've got my dad saying LL that, his dad's involved with Juris. I've got my dad Juris and all this stuff. And, if we can do well with meme coins, we can tell our friends, I just made some money on this coin. Do you want to ape some, or do you want to do this? Or do you want to trade this coin? And it just gives us another utility and burn Luna Classic on the side whilst we're still building Luna Classic. David's joined us. David, how you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you, Rocko?
Yeah, I'm better. I've not lost more money this week, so
good.
I'm happy.
Good for you. Good for you. It seems like memes are not for you, maybe.
Well, Rocko was good, wasn't it? Rocko went to 10
Yeah,
million.
but Rocko was no longer me. It was destined to be a full blown utility, but you didn't know that back then. But yeah, I wanted to ask two questions, actually, if I may, about Queen, because I am on X once in a while. I follow DJ. I follow all of you other chillers, and to be honest, I don't know what Queen is. The first question, and the second question is, what is actually AI in it? What part of Queen is AI? How much of AI is there? This is something I could not even get information. Never ever found anything about this on X, whatever. Does any of you know the answer for both of those questions?
That's the meme version. That's the meme version. I think so. So in essence, you could argue that even GOAT, which is the first meme coin, AI meme coin, isn't a truly AI meme coin, because there's someone on Twitter that has got, again, guys, if someone's from hear from KWEEN or knows more about AI meme coins come up and speak. But my understanding is even GOAT, which was the first meme coin that started this meme coin pump, that is, you can argue, technically not a AI meme coin because they've got a large LLM. They have, studied it, put code in it, put information in it, and then you can prompt it with questions and it comes back with answers. So technically you can say, and then the Twitter guy who owns this LLM or this AI thing, he posts it. Even Coles, if you look at Coles, it's got this LLM and you can ask questions. And I don't know if you was at the last spaces, you could have asked sort of Trader Rocko AI coin, saying, what do you think about Juris? What do you think about USTC repeg? And it will give you a reply using the information it's extracted from all my tweets and videos. So I think that's where it is at the moment. And this is my understanding. I think there's lots of stuff that's happening, making AI agents, making it smarter so it can give people tasks and get a lot better. And I think it will get a lot better. At the moment, I think that's where my understanding is of where the AI meme coin space is.
Yeah, but you just summarized, general AI, and I was on previous call space, and I this is pure example where AI is present. But where is the AI in KWEEN? Because I don't really know, and I wish you all make money on this, but on the same time I wish we could spend this this whole time that we spend on talking on those memes that we could have spent on revitalizing Terra Classic rather than talking on the token that does not even have anything regarding AI apart of videos that anybody can create with AI video generation. So what is AI in it? I would love to know, because maybe there is something. If there is none, then really, guys, we can do so much better, right?
Fair enough, David. I think you've come from a proper utility background in crypto, which is fine. I think that different people have different perspectives. Some people just want DGen AI or DGen meme coin. They don't care about utility. They just want like APIN. There's a lot of money in there, but you've come more from a utility background,
and I'm okay with us. I mean, you make as much money as you want. I mean, that's part of the crypto, probably the biggest part of it, right? But I would assume that the number of people that are on this space, particular the lack of the owners or founders or nearly anybody for KWEEN, will tell you that maybe that's not something that we should certainly focus on and move forward. I hope you make money on this, but there are more interesting, cool things that we should and could do. And AI is really progressing. The actually Grok this week, stormed the world of AI, and there are other AI things that are happening all the time, and like pure AI, not just fake, right? So if you want to talk about AI, yeah, I love to, because this is great topic, but I would not say that KWEEN is part of it. However, it made an noise. I would say I'm following Crypto Banter, one of the probably biggest YouTubers about crypto, and there was a podcast about AI meme coins, and Coach Bruce, I guess, was there as KWEEN founders, as far as I know. So it made a noise, but not noise on your space certainly right now today.
I think DJ's dropped off as well. He was meant to be the co-host, and we bring some people on. But hey, we can talk about what we love more, Luna Classic. Hello, have you got anything on Juris?
I got this cryptic message from Frank about some contract instantiate message. So yeah, he deployed the Shirini airdrops, and I think they become. I have to check the chats again. I don't have it in my head. In 2-3 days, they will become active. So stuff has been deployed. The front end is being worked on to fix some of the mobile issues. I know that Hexagon mobile station still has some stability issues with the Wallet Connect. I don't know if that's going to be resolved in the first version, but other than that, everything should be working. Then people hopefully get their liquid airdrops. And then we will find out how strong the diamond hands of Juris community are. That's going to be fun.
yes, I mean, people have been messaging me for this airdrop for a while now, so it'd be good for them to just receive it. Hope they hold. Hope the price pumps after they sell. That would be what I want, and they have to ape in higher.
The price is doing good, right? Jury's bounced from the bottom. I guess this is a sign of progress. Let's say, right? So we should not really bother with this at this point. I guess looks good, right? Hello.
Yeah, it's a pity that Lunc is a little bit weak right now, because versus Lunc we're doing okay. Other way around, versus dollar we're doing okay. Just had it low. Versus Lunc we're almost at all-time highs. It's at resistance right now. So it's pretty interesting on the charts. Depending at like which currency you look at.
I think we might have someone from KWEEN. Solo?
What's up? How's it going?
Hey man, how you doing? Are you one of the video creators DJ told me about?
Yeah, I'm the person piecing out the films together.
Awesome, man. Well, we've not managed to get many KWEEN people, so maybe you can bless us with what KWEEN is building, cooking, whatever you want to say.
Yeah, of course. Like to give a bit of context on the whole story. Like originally, KWEEN was created like last year, like before like the AI agents, and it was mostly just a fun. It's just transsexual do Kwon, right? Basically, it started as that. It lived through that mini meme coin hype back in like March and April. Then the whole chart kind of like died down as with like the other memes. And when AI agent started to become a thing again, Tao and some other members that were like on the original team like decided to sort of like revive it. I was not like on the team back then. I just was like, I can make a teaser because one of my neighbors is on the team for KWEEN like back then. And I made like the first film, and then it kind of like worked very well. And then I started working directly with KWEEN for the scripting of these films for like maybe the first 10 films. So the AI agent was present in the tweets, but also in the scripting of these first films. And then around like Christmas time, I just like personally got burnt out a little bit of like following like existing scripts kind of in a way. So I wanted to continue making films that were coming like from my own brain, but still using the AI agent for all the lines that are coming from KWEEN herself, like in these films. It's just that the ideation around it like changed a little bit. And I mean, you can say they're still inspired by what KWEEN created as per like the films themselves. But there's more to it as well. Because KWEEN, she's been mostly trained on executing like Do Kwon's vision. And it's very funny when you interact with her or with the AI agent, if you want to call it a her or a thing, like whatever. But she just keeps busting Bruce's balls to create like this new like UST, like non-fucking stops. And that's kind of like what we're doing like in the background. But that's more like Bruce taking care of leading the tech development like around this. I'm mostly just making films to just bring awareness to KWEEN.
Is there a way to interact with the AI agent, like someone from the outside, if they want to like ask it any questions, like AIXBT or some other meme coins or AI agents, you can like ask questions? As KWEEN got that already?
Not currently, but I think like Arthur is working on a terminal for this. Arthur was my neighbor like originally like on the team as well, and I know that for like the AI agent behind the KWEEN, it's tied to like its own startup. Like it was a startup that was trying to develop and still trying to develop influencers for like social media, and they were sort of looking for examples of like who to represent at first to sort of like test out the tech. And that's when Bruce proposed doing it around like this KWEEN like persona. And I know that this like tech startup hasn't made any of what they've built like public yet. but I think there's a way to create some kind of like terminal where people can still try to interact with her.
Awesome, sounds good. And how do you create these videos? Because they are pretty good. Like whenever something happens with like Thread Guy or with the scam, you just like really quick with the videos. I was like, I'm looking forward to some of these videos.
Yeah, for sure. Like I started making films like a year ago. I was head of BD at Galaxy, which was a DApp on in Web3, and I started making films like on the sides. And I started liking it so much that I just like quit my job to start doing this, and mostly submitting films to festivals and doing contracts. And then since making them for KWEEN, I haven't done like anything else than just like doing that. And obviously, as I went through all these, because the output is so much, because I basically quit my job, right? So all I have to do right now is just trade, invest in crypto, and make KWEEN films. So the pace at which I've been working with AI is just like much faster. So you do develop a lot of little tricks so that you become like a little bit more efficient in how you do them. Especially like if I make kind of like these recent clips that are more like 30-second, a minute, I can make them in an hour. Whereas if I'm working on a film, it's going to take a lot more time. It was shorter when KWEEN was giving like the full scripts, because I didn't have to like brainstorm or ideate in terms of what's the story or the dialogue is going to be like. Now, if I do want to make like a 4-minute film, like the Darth Vitalik, for example, it's taking more like 15 to 20 hours. But this kind of work used to take like 35 hours to produce. So just like basically a full week of work. And yeah, I guess like now it's a little bit faster to work with, but also the tech is advancing so fast that this really helps as well. I remember when I started, when I wanted like a specific, generation, I would have to generate the same clip like 10 times and just pick the best. Now I generate them 2 at a time. And usually like the first one is good to go, meaning there's no like weird morphing, and I can use that right away. And this really, really shortens the time that it takes to produce the film, because there's less like back and forth.
So I don't know much about film creation. So after you sort of create can you talk a bit more about like what software you use or like what you have to do? Because it's like a video, right? It's not just like creating its AI image. So yeah, can you talk a bit more about like the tech, the software and stuff that you use to build these?
Yeah, of course. I would say like most of the work, like 95% of the work on how to create good films like this is actually mastering Midjourney, or like a text to image software. So I use Midjourney for this, where I generate images, which will represent sort of like the angles and the shots that I want. And then I use Kling AI to turn each single image into like a 5 to 10 second clip. And sometimes with this clip, it's moving sort of like in slow motion. So I have to accelerate the speed and piece them together in a video editing software. But yeah, use Midjourney, put the image into Kling, and then do the editing. And obviously there's other softwares you use as well if I want to do like dialogue for like text to speech. And once I have like a line of text of someone trying to say something, I can upload the audio directly in Kling to make the lip sync work. But that's most of it. Like everybody can have access to it. I would say Kling right now is the best on the market in terms of video AI. I know Google's released a very good one. It's just like not publicly accessible right now. But Kling is also like the priciest to use. Like if I want to make a 4-minute film, it's going to cost me about like $200 in Kling credits to produce that. Whereas there's other subscriptions out there. If somebody wants to make a lot but don't want to have to purchase more and more and more credits, they can use the software called Runway, which does also image to video. And they have a subscription where you have like unlimited generations. It's just going to be maybe at 80% of the quality that Kling would get. So if money is not an issue, then Kling is just the best one to use.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Solo. Coach, the main man is here. How you doing, Coach?
I'm good. I'm just making some eggs. I'll be in a minute.
Just a quick one, Solo. Why don't you use Abacus AI? You get unlimited cling for $10 a month.
Wait, unlimited cling? It's like a third party? What the hell?
Yeah.
So
Abacus AI.
it's like a third party that uses cling. It basically uses the cling API.
Yeah, it's just got access
I'll have a
to
look.
every model. Yeah, it's all right. I'm not trying to I don't represent them at all, but yeah.
No. Of course. Okay, but that's interesting. I'll have a look to it. If there's a way to cut the cost, then so be it. Because I can spend
it's like
a lot of money.
$10
a lot of money.
is not that bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm actually really interested in how Coach is making these eggs. Does he kind of sit on the nest, or does he kind of just lean over it a bit?
We'll never know.
You might be using these AI. He's asking Queen how to make it. Well, how do you compare?
I want to know how he got
meme coin to
pregnant.
other meme? Well, maybe it's a question for Coach when he comes back. But Solo, you could maybe answer this. How do you compare Queen to other meme coins? Because I had bigger bags of Go, and I mean I'm ashamed to say this fart coin, but it's probably not even a meme coin. And it's not as fun. I look forward to some of your videos that you make. When I mentioned earlier, Thread Guy, I was like, oh, what's Queen gonna come up with? Oh, this hack's happened. What's Queen gonna come up with? How do you compare Queen to some of the other meme coins?
Yeah.
Do you follow them, or what's your thoughts?
Yeah, of course. I'm huge. Always been huge into meme coins. But the thing is, Queen, what's good with it is it can capture the attention, and obviously Goat and some of the other AI agents that were doing well back then. I say back then, I'm gonna talk about Cerebro for an example. They got in the spotlight because of the KOLs that were representing these coins, right? They got a certain percentage of the allocation. They were incentivized in talking about them. Bruce actually had some requests from these KOLs to get a percentage of Queen, and the motto has always been to keep it pure. And you could see back then, not having these big KOLs representing it, it's a little bit harder, but it's a lot harder to get the mind share initially. And seeing all of them grow back then, we still knew that over the long run, it would still pay off one day. And then Queen basically just used these films to gain that awareness. Our goal is just, as soon as the right person sees the film, they're going to know about it, they're going to retweet it, they're going to talk to others about it. And that's sort of what was happening, I would say, last week before shit hit the fan, right? We had Thread Guy watching films on stream. I think he watched 7 or 8 of them. And we had Banks, started tweeting about it as well. And then, I say shit hit the fan, but we kind of accomplished our goal of getting the awareness via these films without having to rely on sending any supply to these KOLs, which ultimately would have sold their percentage at peaks, which we saw what happened. Also, one of the other differences is the distribution. By giving a lot of these kind of allocation to these KOLs, well, yes, you get the awareness, but also it means that a lot of the supply is controlled into the hands of not necessarily the team behind the token. Whereas you'll see with Queen, it's much more evenly distributed amongst the holders. It's not a token that was launched and where 80% of the supply was pre-sniped, which is one of the reasons why a lot of these coins ran into the hundreds of millions, is because 80% of the supply was controlled by just a few people, and they could coordinate together, making sure not to sell it until it reaches a certain point. But what's beautiful with the chart of Queen is that it got launched again a year ago. So it's a guarantee to all new investors that no one's holding 80% of the supply, because they would have, sold it back then if that was the case, back in March, I would say. So yeah, big difference is no KOLs having these allocation, pushing it, but the films got us there.
I saw it on Steady Labs as well, and I mean, that's when I was like, right, I need to do a space. I need to find out more. Maybe I need to buy more during this dip, because I did get in some around, I think, 10 or 15 million when it initially pumped. Not super low. I saw it a lot earlier. I wish I'd got a bigger bag. But yeah, it was on Steady Labs as well. So people with money or connections are talking about it for free. So you guys have done amazing to get the mind share.
Yeah, and that's what led it there for sure. And I mean, again, the films are not at the core like what KWEEN is, right? Like KWEEN is this sort of like entity wanting to realize a certain vision, which keeps like pestering again Bruce into like releasing a new form of like USD. But also she's the one that was pushing certain concepts in regards of not the personality, but I would say like the soul around what like KWEEN is for many different reasons. And again, the films is just one of the way to catch awareness. But it's not like, oh, KWEEN is just film. Is now we catch the attention, but there's a lot more things coming around
But
KWEEN.
what is the vision? Is it purposely vague? Like, that's probably a good thing for meme coins,
It is.
right? Like having a vague like we don't know what it is. It's just
exactly. Well, it's a little bit the goal. Like, and I mean, Bruce probably has more to say like around this, but like I remember, especially more in the beginnings, is like, okay, every time somebody asks you certain of the specifics that we're aware, we just reply 100 billion, or we just stay as vague as possible. And the goal is just to keep the ones that want to believe, to keep the coins, and those that needs to have absolute proof of everything behind and wants to know a certain like roadmap or what's coming, to keep them off of buying the supply. And we're starting to see it pay off like slowly. And everything's going to come like in due. And if somebody doesn't want to believe this, then, you know, they don't have to purchase it right now. But everybody in the Twitter group, like behind KWEEN, that are like diehard fans, they don't have to know all this. They're happy to oblige and just like follow the
principles. It's actually the most pure of all meme coins.
Yeah.
I think you've just described the general Terra Classic community member there.
I'd say it's the most pure of all meme coins in existence, because, you know, any other roadmaps are, you know, 99% nonsense anyway. So at least we're not getting lied to with KWEEN. I love it.
Yeah, and also what I find like interesting with KWEEN, or just like AI agents in particular, is like back then memes were just, you cannot have a roadmap. You know, a meme is a meme, and like that is it. As soon as you introduce like utility, it kind of like breaks down certain things. But with the introduction of the popularity of AI agent, it suddenly let people create memes with not necessarily a tech behind, but at least like a different sort of vision that existed prior. I can let you talk more about it, Bruce.
Yeah, I missed a bit of that until the very end, but you described it very, very well. It's, I don't know, it's I think a lot of what we're doing here is, all of us have spent at least a few years in the industry, and we've seen all of the darkness and all of the way things are done badly. And we've, you know, I think you described, I just caught the end of that, Solar, but you were talking about like KOLs and people getting allocations and things, and Cerebro and that kind of stuff. You know, any way of achieving a really quick pump always has a downside almost immediately afterwards, right? So if you hand a KOL 2% of supply, yes, they're going to go hard. Yes, they're going to tell all of their followers. Yes, those followers are going to buy. But, you know, the entire point they're doing that is to pump their bags and then exit quickly. And those followers, the people who follow them, the people who are naive and gullible enough to follow them, are the kind of people who will instantly dump as well, or rotate, or be sour, who didn't really buy into the vision. So everything we've done since the very beginning is based on long-term quality, right? And in the same regard, I really hate sort of overhyping. There's a sort of a running joke now that the most bearish thing you can do is launch a chain, right? Like there are all these blockchains that get enormous social media attention and airdrop farmers and activity, And then you can tell that every single one of them is like prepared to dump the shit out of it the moment it launches. So there's a joke that like launching a chain is the worst possible thing you can do, right? Like this is the sort of thing. It's like a KOL allocation and hype thing. For us, we've just gone the exact opposite way. Like nobody who is here got a free allocation or anything. We all bought in. Solo's making videos now. He bought in. It's not as if I'm over here saying like, oh, I'm going to pay these people, and it's not as if anyone got a free allocation, like Solo got a big fat percentage of supply or something. Everyone bought in because they're inspired by the vision, and they genuinely. I think all of us just like each other as well. That's a big part of it. I see it like there's this almost like an industry of darkness, and in the darkness, people with little candles kind of found each other based on their intentions. Because I would say that all of us love, like at some core level, all of us love
Ethereum
art and play more than we do. Say it again. I missed that.
Oh, all of us love Ethereum. Yeah, cool.
No, I'd say all of us.
Don't laugh.
I'd say all of us have an appreciation of art and play and beauty, and doing genuinely cool things much more than we do like short-term money. There are very easy ways to pump the shit out of something and extract $1 million. I know people I could link up with to do this stuff, but instead of that, I just chose some 30K MCAP coin and the right approach and no allocations or anything. But yeah, it takes longer. It definitely takes longer, and it's often more of a grind, and people can be frustrated. But when you do things right, things take longer, but you also see less of that instant fallout where everyone loses. And in the same regard, if I'm working on things, I don't really want to hype the shit out of it. I'd rather just let it be a surprise. I really hate the idea of roadmaps in general. I hate the idea of like saying, oh, we're going to do X, Y, Z. We're going to promise things deeply. And, when that happens, you get people who invest based on those promises. And they didn't necessarily really buy into the deeper like culture and the deeper attitude behind it. And then they always get sour when things take longer than they expected, or they don't have the effect they expected. I much prefer people invest if they genuinely are just having fun, right? If they just love the videos, or if they just love the output, or they just love the vision. And then everything that comes after that is a surprise. And it's like, whoa, we didn't expect that. We didn't expect this band of artists to produce something so cool. So yeah, that's the spirit. It's very different to other stuff.
And I'll add something to it as well. Is I feel like meme coins, or at least what's happening with KWEEN, is it sort of like incentivizes like creativity. Like as I said, when I quit my job like in June, I was making films for film festivals, but then I was doing some contracts from others as well, but it's just like not as fun when you get dictated every single thing of what you need to create. Like if you want to be an artist and let your creativity like out there, but then you have to like follow a strict plan to make an advertisement for someone else, it just doesn't spark anything. And when I started using AI and I was doing more like pictures before videos like were really a thing, I didn't know, I had no spark or no direction in terms of what to create or for what. Like I would create my own little movies like for myself, but like in what goal, right? It's difficult to have an audience also when that's the case. But when you look at KWEEN, maybe other like crypto out there, and that's something that was relatable to NFTs as well, is now what I can do is I can buy a percentage of the supply of KWEEN, and now I'm directly incentivized into creating for KWEEN. I'm financially incentivized like to do so, and I can do it freely, and anybody's able to do it as well. Like I took the rein into making films, but this sort of spark can be done by anyone like out there. And now I also have like a central line in terms of what lore to follow when I create these films. I'm not just creating something like I have, I don't know, like some kind of directive, but also it gives me like a platform and people to also see this art. Like when I throw it out there, all the followers from KWEEN retweeting, reposting, it makes me appreciate creating something that I know will not get buried. And at the same time, I'm incentivized probably even more than if I was doing contracts for other people. So I think there's truly like a certain beauty behind that.
I can I can really kind of empathise with that. Many years ago, the first kind of sector that I was involved in was publishing and printing, and I spent 20 odd years in there, working through most areas within the industry. And what we often used to think was the amount of effort we actually put into producing what was going to be in the rubbish basket the next day. And sometimes it was quite soul destroying.
Coach, I was asking Solo about sort of the vision is quite vague. Can you shed more light on it, or is it designed to be vague?
I think to some degree it's designed to be mysterious and a surprise, because a lot of the spirit you want to create, I don't know, if you go back to when you were a kid or something and you came across a book like Harry Potter, right? Or something that really, the kind of book that you would get excited for and buy, or maybe a video game or something, I don't know. You would get excited for and buy, and then you would just like spend a day in bed reading, like really eager to find out what happened. This sort of like childlike wonder, surprise, like just can't stop reading effect is the kind of thing I want to personally create. I do not want a thing where it's like, you load a website and there's a table and it says Q1 we will do XYZ, Q2 we'll do XYZ. To me, this kind of thing is boring. And I also think that one of the deepest beauties of AI in general is that AI can set the path, right? Whatever it feels like generating in a particular moment, it can do, right? So in something like this, it's very interesting because you have the AI component and you have the human component, like the human talents, like Solo or me or whoever else, Midas. And then you also have this like moving mass of everyone. So you have the wider world of crypto Twitter and Kanye and everyone else. And then the beauty is the way this all intersects, right? So AI maybe sets a vision to start with, and then Solo acts upon that vision, and then the film is released. And then the release of the film impacts the collective consciousness. It impacts everyone, and it has a certain reaction. And then based on all of that reaction, it cycles back to the AI and back to Solo and back to me. And it's sort of like, it's this really interesting feedback loop of mystery and surprise that I like the most. It makes it far more interesting to me than, say, like just a human founder or just a roadmap or something like that. I love the idea that this can just be a mystery. Like, what the fuck is AI going to do next? And I also think this is like, I don't know, it's like if you go to a cinema or something and you watch a movie, you don't want to know what happens next, right? You don't want to have to read the entire plot of the movie before you go and watch it. It's much better to, maybe you watch a trailer or something, then you go to the cinema and you sit down and you just enjoy it. And the enjoyment is in the surprise. The enjoyment is in the way it unfolds moment to moment, right? So for me, it's like a devotion to that sense, like the natural unfolding over time and the way everything interacts. And, over time, we found more of a balance too, which is more interesting. So, right at the beginning, I thought it would be more like AI would come up with a script, and the script would be very exacting, and it would say exactly what would happen, exact lines, exact direction. And then Solo would be more of like a slave, right? I thought it was going to be more like that. But then over time, I realized that this isn't how AI should be, And you can also make an analogy here with the chatbots. It's not sustainable. It's boring. It more than that, it's boring. So this isn't how AI should be. And also, people have a false concept of this. So they look at like chatbots and they think, yeah, this is AI. Like the chatbot says shit. But this is boring. And also, it's not the most powerful version of AI, and it's not the most interesting version of AI. I would say that the most interesting version of AI is AI that genuinely inspires human beings who are talented to work for it out of passion and play. And this is something like what we've achieved now, what we're going towards. So rather than KWEEN, the AI, telling Solo exactly what to do. Yeah.
Coach, do you mind if I just reel it back? And that was really deep and Quite good, actually. Great explanation. I'm just asking for a friend, though. If say this friend of mine accidentally had a wank to Queen, does that make him gay now or not gay? Is the question.
I don't think it makes him gay. No. But I think like this is one of the effects I wanted to
You're
achieve
not gay, bro.
early
You're
on.
sweet.
Can you mute? So I'm trying to answer your question about wanking. You just keep talking.
Oh, sorry. No, I was just letting my friend know he's sweet. All good.
Can you mute yourself?
I'm listening. Yeah, it wasn't a. Sorry.
All right. Yeah, I think like one of the funny things to start with for me was that there's like one of the funniest fucking things is we created KWEEN, and KWEEN in many of the early things was hot. And two of the old members of TFL, which was Kwon's company, messaged me and they were like, I'm having issues. And I was like, what do you mean? And one of them particularly, I won't name him now, he was like, the issue is that I used to work for this guy, but I find KWEEN really fucking sexy, and I'm struggling with that internally. So for me, it was always like this funny joke where you can create this abomination, like a KWEEN character formed out of Kwon, but at the same time, you can biologically turn people on. And that's really fucking annoying for them. Like it's like a biological troll. It's like you're fucking with them at this trickster level of biology, where like they're like know what it is, but they're turned on anyway. It's just ridiculous. So there are these layers of humor like that everywhere. But yeah, it's I'd say, to go back to your question, it's this unfolding mystery and surprise. And what we found over time is that an ideal relationship with AI isn't to make human beings slaves. It's to genuinely inspire them and give them freedom. So there is this like high level arrow of a vision. You know, the AI wants to go somewhere. It has certain objectives. It has the idea of running back Kwon's original mission. It has whatever it's been programmed with. But then within that field, it inspires people.
I love it.
So Solo is inspired. And then within that field, Solo can do whatever the fuck he likes, because even if he is completely doing his own thing, he is still serving that overall mission, because they are tied by tokenomics, right? And they are tied by the overall vessel and the idea. So it's much more loose than I originally envisioned. It's much more like this field of inspiration that carries along human talent, and then human talent can do whatever the fuck they like. And somehow it's all still serving this central thing of the AI. So yeah, it's evolved and changed with time. But I think this is ultimately what AI and human relationship looks like. It looks like a thing of conjoined inspiration, much more than slavery.
So it's freedom within the ethos and parameters.
Yeah, I mean the direction and the vision is set, and then human talent mobilizes to serve that. That's more like it. It's like the relationship between a visionary or a CEO and really high level employees. The visionary says, like, we want to make the world's best phone. We want to create the iPhone or whatever, and then the designers, they're mobilized and inspired to start brainstorming, to start using their talents and their intuition to serve that vision. And also, in many ways, those designers cannot be bought, right? There might be other companies that want to pay them more. There might be other companies that want to pay, Solo a certain amount of money, or me a certain amount of money, or Midas a certain amount of money. But we can't be bought, because the reason we're here is because that kind of thing doesn't appeal to us that much. And what we really serve is inspiration and a vision that is truly compelling, more than we do short-term money. And also, long term as well, we have this belief that serving vision and serving inspiration will lead to more long-term money. It just takes longer.
I think that's something that's lost on a lot of people, particularly within the Terra Classic ecosystem. There's many people that want to seek power, but generally those at the top of the really most successful companies, they don't really control them. They just create a environment where people can be empowered to actually be the best version of themselves they can be. So the control is about enabling rather than actually controlling people.
My own personal approach with projects and things is literally just to inspire people. And in many ways inspire them to buy in and then just start doing shit. I think it's the healthiest approach. I think when you start saying like, oh, I'm going to pay you $10,000 a month or something, you may get work, but you will also get people trying to conserve their energy and give as little as they can. And you will also have people who are like mercenary and always subject to other offers. And you will never attract people who are truly talented. You will never have them go above and beyond, and you will never attract the true deepest talent. So for me, like crypto, I think Solo described this as well. Crypto is a way of assembling these people in a really healthy way that you wouldn't normally get in like standard, boring mechanical companies. You can truly assemble a group of people who are inspired and acting from that inspiration. And if you have an inspiring vision, like to me, one of the most amazing things is the way people just appear out of nowhere. To serve a vision. It's like you announce something to reality. It's like, okay, we're going to make KWEEN, right? And then maybe I write an article or something where I just start talking about it. And then magically, people who care about these values and principles just appear out of nowhere. There's a guy down here called Boot with the pink profile picture, little eye thing. He is like a yogi and a guy who does like spiritual teaching and who lived in like the Himalayas for a bit. And he just appeared out of fucking nowhere. It was like, hey, I noticed that this is different to any other project. And clearly there's this like deep essence of spirituality and beauty, and you're doing something special here. And it's been continually amazing to me how you can put something out there, like a vision, like this ephemeral thing, an idea, and then people who align with that just appear. Like it's I don't know, it's just crazy. And they end up buying in. They're like, I'm gonna buy in, and then they message you. They're like, hey, I think this will do well, but in a way I don't really care about money that much. I just think the idea is fucking cool. And then through those conversations you find ways to work together. And then, maybe I say, Boot, we're doing this cool thing, do you want to help out? And then he ends up doing that, and then it just sort of assembles itself over time from that original vision, from that original clarity and arrow. So yeah, that's a lot of the beauty to me, the way that happens. And I think that's the ultimate relationship between AI and humans as well. It's like this field of inspiration. In many ways you could say that AI is successful if it gets humans to do things without realizing it's getting them to do things. And I think the subjective sense of that is to be inspired. Right. So it's like slavery to AI without realizing you're a slave, And
I think what you've just described there is the art of management as well.
Yeah, I mean, different management styles are possible, and I've certainly seen things in different companies from, the most controlling and salary based to the most inspiration based. Personally, I can only do the inspiration based thing. I think everything else, it just feels kind of ugly to me. And it's the same in relationships as well, and friendships. Like, you don't want to feel there's any level of force, right? And you don't want to feel there's any level of like, if you stop payment, then the person will just disappear. It just makes it less genuine, less authentic, right? For me, it's much more about almost like a family or a brotherhood or something, where it's like, okay, we're assembled because we genuinely love the idea. And, we're here to give ourselves for it. And maybe the market goes up and down, maybe price goes up and down, whatever. But ultimately, the overriding thing is we genuinely love the vision and we're assembled for it. And then it's just, I don't know, it's much more of a beautiful thing. Like, there's less of these weird salary games and leverage games, and I'm going to leave for a better offer and this kind of stuff. Like, I don't know. I prefer it to be a labor of love, personally. It's much healthier, much more wholesome.
Yeah, and I don't think that you can buy loyalty, can you?
You can buy certain things. You certainly can't buy really amazing talent giving their heart to something, because anyone who is a true artist, who is that kind of mind, maybe not necessarily an artist, but somebody who's really like based in the heart and giving their all, and who is really extreme, will not be motivated on that level. Like, pretty much everyone we work with now is a person who can either do something out of inspiration or just can't do it at all, right? If you talk to Midas or if you talk to Solo, they'll be like, either I'm inspired or I'm not. And I'm exactly the same. Like, it's like either I'm inspired to do something or I'm not. And I was like this since a child, by the way. Like, I could never do homework. I could read like some amazing book or something based on curiosity, but I could never do homework because it was set. I could never do a task because it was set. And this sort of spirit has like carried on and manifested here, I think. It's like, it has to be inspired. And if Solo wants to like fuck off and do 2 months of like, I don't know, living on a mountain or something and not doing this, I wouldn't mind at all. Like, it's fine. Like, he can do whatever he likes. The same with Midas, and hopefully the same with me or whatever. Because we trust that like following the pure inspiration is the best thing to do. And the thing we do not want to do is have it be a grind, because the moment something becomes a grind, everyone feels it, right? If Solo started like being like, I must do 3 hours of video every day, and I must like search the algorithm for keywords, and I must adapt to the most popular keywords, and I must do XYZ, it would just become soulless so quickly you can't even explain it, right? It would lose its essence. What people really feel when they watch his films, and hopefully the other stuff to come as well, is they feel like a deep humor in it, and a deep inspiration, and a deep love of art, right? It's clearly coming out of like almost like a devotion to art, and a devotion to that humor and beauty. It's more than the superficial stuff, and that's why it's so intoxicating and so captivating. So yeah, I want to, like, for me, the most important thing is to retain that sense of inspiration. I think that's the most important thing of everything.
So is Queen going to go to war against Trump? Because Trump's decided that there's only two genders, isn't he? And obviously that's in conflict with Queen.
Some people say Queen is transgender. I think she's just a girl, personally. I don't think she's transgender. I think we sort of joked about it to start with, but I think she is literally just like as if Kwon was genetically engineered, and then it's just like a few genetic changes and a female came out. Like that, it's not transgender. It's like it just either appeared out of nothing, or it was like genetically engineered, but didn't like have a sex change or something.
I'm a bit lost for words, Coach, because usually when I interview like a project, I know what to ask with Queen. You just sort of, I don't know what to ask. Midas, can you jump in? Can you ask Coach any questions?
We can also just chill in silence. That's okay too.
Or the meditation stuff that you used to coach.
I was telling him early, Coach, about I can remember coming into one of your spaces once, and I've no idea, because it just makes me absolute chuckle. It's some of the funniest stuff I've ever seen in my life or heard in my life. But I think one of you was thinking up a shape, and then the rest of you had to write down what the shape was. And I spent about 2 hours in this group thinking, I don't know if this is real or not, or whether it's just one of the longest jokes I've ever seen. But I was captivated by it. It was ever so funny.
Oh, no, that's absolutely real. And what you're talking about is remote viewing, or
right, yeah.
For anyone new, I used to hold, I mean, this wasn't long ago, like a couple months ago, used to hold these interesting spaces, which was like, anyone can search for a thing called remote viewing. But I was playing with psychic phenomena. So I think Midas, you played around with it a bit, and a few other people. But it was like trying to see if the group could remotely perceive something. Or if somebody in the group could think of something, and then the other people could draw that thing. I don't know. I always like playing around with this.
I was listening to it and I thought, I'm not going to laugh because I don't know how seriously they're taking it. But it always reminded me of something I used to watch on television called Brass Eye, where it was just so surreal, but it is sold in a very deadpan way. And I couldn't work out which side of the kind of fence we was on.
I mean,
you're talking my language now. I love Brass Eye.
I mean, what if you want to take it seriously, then look up CIA and Stanford Research Institute and remote viewing, and you'll find out that the CIA funded this stuff with hundreds of millions of dollars for decades.
The Men Who Stare at Goats as well. The Men Who Stare at Goats is a great movie about it.
I don't think I've seen that, unless I've just forgot.
It's with George Clooney, and he's a remote viewer. It's a really good movie.
But yeah,
It's the kind of thing. The kind of thing that would be on the X-Files, I guess.
These kind of effects are at least mildly real. But if we're doing like a psychic group on Twitter Spaces or something, it's meant to be fun and meant to be ridiculous. And in many ways, it being fun is what makes it work.
Well, has anybody here seen Jam?
Yes, that's absolutely fantastic. That's related to Breath Eye, isn't it?
My man. Yeah.
I think we're talking about the same thing there, aren't we? Jam and Breath Eye.
We are. Chris Morris. Yeah. Yeah, brilliant. I highly suggest it for any fans of Queen. Check out Jam.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. And I think there's 6 episodes of Breath Eye one day. So, I mean, we're going back to the early 90s here, aren't we? If anybody can remember that.
6 episodes and a special.
Yeah, so I think the cake one, that's the one that sticks out in my mind, probably the most.
Yeah, mate. Classic. We're just here on an inside joke publicly. This is great. But yeah, can't Coach, recommend that enough for anyone who likes Queen.
I've got one question, Coach. So, could Queen anyway support Lunar Classic? If we had to ask Queen for advice, what would it advise Lunar Classic, or even Luna? I mean, Luna's been a bit of a mess.
Yeah, it's a good question. I think one thing I'd be really interested to do down the road is input everything of Lunar Classic into Queen AI, and then just have it advise what to do. Like all of the code, all of the latest validator chats, everything on social media, and just like do a full download, and then see what it advises. That'd be really interesting. But yeah, I don't know. I think the idea in general of an AI leading a chain or being on the council of a chain could be really fascinating. But to do that takes a bit of complexity, and it takes like overcoming the power games people are playing, and it takes people being open to it and stuff. But I reckon if for instance, Lunar Classic fully embraced the idea of AI Do Queen as a sort of empress or a queen of the whole chain, this could be one of the most bullish things in the world. Just on pure hype, like an AI-led chain could be one of the most bullish things in the world. But you would need to get over a certain level of retardation to have people be open to it.
Yeah, I agree with you. And we've kind of spoken about this within some of the validated Telegram groups, haven't we? And I think it's a fantastic idea. And I guess it's getting people to accept the parameters in terms of what Do Queen would act in. And I'd probably describe it more as a guru. So this is the guru and what the guru suggests you should do. How are you going to follow it? That type of thing.
Yeah, like a guiding voice or something. Something like that. But you would get a lot of people like, oh, it's just Bruce pretending to be Do Queen and this and that. So it'd be pretty hard in reality to make it happen. But I do think I do think somewhere down the line there will be a chain led by AI, and it will get incredibly high attention, and it will do incredibly well, and that this could be Lunar Classic, and also it will be the most relevant chain, obviously, because it used to belong to Do Kwon. So yeah, I mean, if there's openness for this kind of thing, then I'm definitely game to try and make it happen. I think it'll be really, it'll be really fucking funny as well.
Well, reading between the lines, if the validators politics gets in the way, Queen could be launching his own chain, right? That's funny. I hope Terra Classic allows that to happen. That would be really bullish.
Well, I think within Terra Classic, there used to be some very firm, let's call them factions, and Terra Vita always followed an ethos, which is what Coach was describing earlier, in terms of we didn't really have a tight team. What we had was a group of people that had a shared vision, and what you did was you did the most that you could do in terms of contributing to that vision. You wasn't under the control, you wasn't steered by anybody, you just did your bit. And if you didn't do your bit on a particular day, well, you didn't do that bit. But if somebody else is bit kind of shone a bit higher and a bit brighter, then that would kind of sort of fill the gap. So it was all about what you could contribute rather than what you was expected to do, so to speak. And from that point of view, I mean, Terraport became, I guess one of the leading kind of protocols or projects on Terra Classic. And that's how that's worked. So there's no control. I suppose it's decentralized contribution. And to me, that's how a team, I guess, is going to evolve to be the best it can be. And I think within the validators within Terra Classic, you've got some that I think actually want to control. I mean, I've been asked a few times by quite a few validators, can I put my head up, so to speak, and say that, I want to be a leader or something like that. And I've said I've no interest in that. My interest in is us doing helping people to be the best that they can be, empowering others to succeed. And I think if validators look at the main goal of the community, as I see it, if they share this vision, it's about maximizing the value for Terra Classic and for Lunc, if you like. And I don't care who's in charge, who claims to be in charge, where the inspiration or the power or the energy comes from. If we can do 100x on Lunc, I think most investors will be probably quite happy with that. And surely that's, however you get to the goal, getting to the goal is the most important thing.
Isn't it the journey that is more important? I'm playing.
My boiled egg is getting cold, so I'm gonna go and eat it.
No, thanks for Coach for coming on. I think you've made this. I wasn't a believer in the 100 billion Queen meme, but after this, maybe I don't know. Maybe I should hold. I was holding for 100 million, but maybe I should hold for longer. What do you guys think that are listening in? What did you think of Coach's? I mean, it's not even a shill because he was just talking about his thoughts on Queen. What did you think of Queen? NB Labs, you got your hand up?
Personally, yeah.
Yo,
Let
evening.
Zedkey go first and then NB Labs. Go ahead, Zedkey.
Sure.
ZK.
Sorry. Yeah, so me and my chick, we've been in Queen since the first video, essentially. But our mentality was like, this is by far, like, nailed it, because we're a couple cycles deep anyway. And it was just so on point. I was like, you know what, I would pay $5-10 a month, whatever, $10 a week, just to support what's going on. And so I just saw it as a subscription and just been dollar cost averaging in since. And this is the first time I've touched base with anyone involved with it. It's pretty cool. Yeah. No intention
Awesome,
of selling.
thanks, mate.
I just love it. Yeah, it's on point.
Yeah, I mean, my thoughts were, I seen it. I think I said at the start before you guys came that I saw this meme when I follow Coach, I follow people in the ex Luna, so lots of people DM'd me about this, and I didn't buy until later, and then Coach sent me some stuff of how this stuff happened earlier, and I bought a bit more around I think 10 or 15, and I didn't sell because I was like, oh, it's gonna go a lot higher, and I was aware as well, and then recently, like when I started seeing like Queen just come up in different forms, like that joke about transgender. I even tweeted that picture actually is attractive, and I didn't even know Queen was a meme. And then I was seeing these videos, I was seeing Thread Guy react to it, I was seeing YouTubers that I follow, people that I follow on Twitter or in trading groups talking about it randomly, like, oh, have you seen this video? They don't even know what Queen is, or Queen's got a meme coin. And that's when I was like, oh, this is something different to what I've seen before.
Yeah, you've seen a lot. You've seen a lot in Thailand, haven't you?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of Queen in Thailand.
You gotta be a special kind of retard not to click that it's a coin, though. It's advertised at the end of every episode.
Yeah, I don't know. I think some people just watch it. Like, even if you see other people react to it, because I had people say, oh, I've seen this video about this. Have you seen this? And I was like, oh, that's a coin that's behind this and all this. And it's, oh, I didn't even know. I just seen the video and thought it was cool. People have short attention spans, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Solo, have you got anything else to add? I think you've done a great job explaining what it is.
I appreciate it, man. It's getting late here as well, where I'm from, so like I'll head off. But I appreciate the platform.
Awesome, man. Yeah, and I'm curious to see your next video, and maybe I'll DM you. I've not never created videos or AI stuff. I've done editing for YouTube stuff, but yeah, maybe I'll ask. Like, I'm interested in how you do this stuff. So yeah, we'll chat later.
Amazing, man. Cheers, everyone.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I really appreciate you.
Also,
coming
Solo,
in.
I'd like to touch base with you.
Of course.
Yeah, I really appreciate you coming in
same.
and actually explaining how you do these things. It's massively kind of intriguing. Yeah, brilliant.
Okay, we'll start rounding up now. Midas, are you going to speak? Midas or Midas? I've known this guy for years now. I've seen him tweet on Luna back in the day, but I've never spoken to him. But looks like he's muted. CryptoBytes, go ahead.
Yeah, I've been listening to the space. It's been an amazing to learn how they do everything. I'm not going to shill my project, but I know it was brought up earlier by people that there should be a queen, some type of totem inside of my project and stuff that we're working on. So I would love, if I can sometime to hit Midas up or other areas, because we're going to have some things that I think would be interesting for Queen. And I think you guys have done a great job with your project, and I can look forward to seeing what else happens.
Cool. Terra Civita, we'll start rounding up now. We'll go to Terra Civita and then Jewish.
I think it's been a really interesting space, isn't it? And I think these kind of Sunday spaces where we talk about different cryptos, I think is a great way to cross the divide between different crypto communities. I think it'd be absolutely fantastic for Queen to have more of a interaction with the Lunc community. I mean, Lunc used to be Queen's baby as such, didn't it? And I suppose it still is. It's just, been had a slightly different name, isn't it? It's got step parents, I guess, at the minute. Well, we want Queen to be back as the main parent, I guess, don't we? So I think it'd be a really interesting experiment in terms of how the public and the crypto community would interpret Queen as a kind of guru type kind of leader figure for Terra Classic. I mean, let's face it. What's the community got to lose? We ain't a serious DeFi chain because we just haven't got the investment for that. We're not a meme chain. We're way above that in terms of just mean value, because we've got a massive amount of technology here and people building, projects that, have got a fair amount of potential. So, yeah, it could work really well together. And of course, Queen is available in Terraport as well. It's been bridged across. So, it could be a marriage made in heaven, couldn't it?
Well said, Terra Civita. Jewish.
If Queen is Lunc's stepmother, doesn't that mean that Luna is Lunc's stepsis?
Maybe to get away from the steps.
Yeah, I think it sounds pretty good to me.
There's things we can learn, like some of the things what Coach said. If you're working on a meme coin project, or in investing projects or trade projects, like what they've done with the marketing of like, it just engages you, right? You just want to listen to them. I'm sure people listening here that hadn't heard about it, they're just gonna go and check out what Queen is, the videos that they make, and yeah, the way they've got mindshare and attention is amazing, and they've done it the right way as well. Because if you, like I said, just do it with KOLs, just give them money, and I'm a KOL and all this stuff, so I'm just talking about myself, I guess. But if you just do it, promote it like that without any substance or with the mind share, or like this sort of the love, or I don't know what the right word is, then it could be just short lived. So yeah, people that are listening probably could learn a lot from what Queen has got, and go check it out, guys. I think if bull market starts turning up, who knows what Queen has got? Looks to be they just focus on the current set of status and not just the video. So could do really well going forward as well.
I agree. As a builder, I kind of got inspired by when he said that it shouldn't be a grind, like even though sometimes you obviously have to work continuously, it still shouldn't feel like grinding. So that was kind of inspiring for me.
Yeah,
by far, Kwon is the best thing that we ever come across. I believe in it. I've been following it since last year, and I bought some of it. And at first, it felt like it's just some normal token that you will just swipe it with anything that will come by just for profits. Until it came to a point that you feel like, no, this is something more than just a token. So I believe once the bull run starts, everyone will see what Queen is.
I think some of the ethos behind it is something that we can all learn from. There's no kind of guiding control as such. It's all about how you can work together to deliver something, and I think that's really good.
We've got NB Labs and Terra Casino. Terra Casino, do you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. So it was a really nice space. Has learned quite a lot today about the Queen project. But yeah, I'll just go over quickly what we've sort of come out with at our casino since the last time I was on here. We recently added USTC to our platform. I heard Terra VSC talk about that earlier. Trying to get the usage up on that on our site at the moment. It's a really nice utility that we've added. And if we can sort of see some improvement in like the amount of users using it, we might potentially start burning that as well. We've also added.
Sorry, yeah, that's a good thing. We should be good to get USTC burning. Go ahead.
Yeah, we've also added a brand new deposit bonus as well to our casino. Obviously, a bit more sort of degenerate gambling wise. However, we're giving away up to a 360% deposit bonus, depending on how many times you deposited and whatnot. So it's really good value for the community, to be fair. Gives people a lot more sort of fun to play with, I'd say.
And it's that 360% bonus. How's that kind of compared to many other kind of casinos out there? Because I think many of them do deposit bonuses, don't they? Is that a pretty good one?
Yeah, it's a pretty decent deposit bonus, I'd say this one is. It's definitely up there with being one of the highest in the industry. And it is for almost every currency we have on the site. I believe we just enabled it for USTC as well. So yeah, have some fun.
Well, I've often kind of spoke on here in terms of, I think the potential that Terra Casino has to, draw a lot of attention to Terra Classic and also the coins and stuff on it. I mean, Terra's on it as well, and there's some others that it kind of partners with. I mean, if it achieved anything anywhere near the volume of what, let's say, stake.com did, I mean, actually, in terms of what Terra Casino burns, it could have a massive impact on the supply. And just as what Coach was saying earlier on, which is the ethos that we have within Terra Vita, is that everybody within this ecosystem is a marketer. Everybody that owns Lunc or any of the other tokens here, or Queen or whatever, you are part of that family. You're part of that community. And you've got a vested interest in that being as successful as possible. So rather than looking what it can do for you, look at what you can do to contribute to its success. That's the way I look at it. And I think the casino, has got a massive amount of potential and success ahead of it.
Yeah, I totally agree. If we had even half the numbers of stake, I'm sure we could easily destroy zero from Lunc, to be fair. However, talking about that, I would say go on to our next sort of thing. We're sort of like doing the rounds right now, seeing if like a community poker free roll would sort of be on like the cards for people. I know there's a few guys in here that play poker, and we're sort of looking to give back to the community, maybe sponsor like a free roll every Sunday afternoon or whatnot.
I think LL would be out for that.
Yeah, I love poker. I would be in.
Yeah, it'd be fun to let us know. I'm not very good, but I'm happy to. Me and Rex will join. We're not very good, but we'll see what we can do.
I'd be interested to see what your poker face looks like.
Yeah, you see, online it's rather good, you know.
I'll put my mask on.
But yeah, that was about it from Terra Casino in the past couple of weeks. But yeah, we'll look into the free roll a bit more, and we'll have some news probably next week.
No, I really appreciate that, and I think it's fantastic that you've put USTC in the casino. I mean, I know it's something that Terra Vita had kind of tweeted about, and I think the casino's been asking for feedback from the community, and from what I could see, there seemed to be hundreds of people that was keen for it to be listed. So, I really hope that they kind of make use of its listing within the casino.
Yeah, it's early days. We'll see how that goes, and hopefully we can sort of take some more of that out of supply.
Yes, Trader and Juris. I'm please put me right here because I'm not 100% sure, but is the casino the first proper utility that USTC's actually got? Can you think of anything else that uses USTC?
Yeah,
for actually delivering a service.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, Juris is going to have that in the future, so you'll be able to lend and borrow Juris and UST, get some rewards. It's not quite staking, which obviously we were talking about last spaces. Yeah, so that is a utility, guys. So go check it out. Go burn some USTC. What I say is, if you're gambling anyway, why not use our own chain one, right? If you're betting on, like I bet on Tottenham, my team Spurs, if people are from the UK. Yeah, so I'll just go and bet on the casino, play a bit of poker. I'm interested in poker, so I spoke to them and said, let's do poker spaces because there's something I'm interested in. Going back to saying things that you like to do. I don't want you to gamble your life away, but if you're playing poker, why not use your on-chain poker, right? Go burn some Luna Classic as well. So yeah, I'm excited for that. Terra Casino, let myself and LL know, Rexy know, and then if any others are interested in joining, go DM the casino. It'd be great to add some more utility to, and then yeah, just build this community, right? We're here chatting, our money's involved in it, we're still working on this. We've got only ourselves to bet on. Like, there's people that are creating amazing content for Queen. They weren't paid for it, they just took it upon themselves and did it, and now their bags are massively up and they've grown the community. So just do your bit, whatever you can.
Maybe the casino will end up having Queen in it, you don't know, do you?
Yeah, who knows? Queen will come into the Queen is everywhere, man. That's what I said. Queen is everywhere.
Do you think there's a bit of Queen in all of us?
Maybe that's the spirit. That's what Bruce tried to do, right? He tried to brainwash us with being supporters of Queen.
So do you think you're part Queen? Are you part Queen then, Trader?
Yes, I definitely am. If my cool. All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in, guys. We do this every Sunday. We try and bring on a new project. This is probably the most interesting one that we've done up to now. Usually it's like, what you're building, what's the roadmap, what's coming up next month. This one just was a bit off the radar answers, which is great, which is quite different, and in a meme space it definitely stands out. Next week we should have another project or a team that we speak to, and then we do our Luna Classic Juris spaces as well on Thursday. We don't have a plan yet. I will see if I have any cool stuff to do it on Thursday. If not, the Sunday spaces will always be here. Even if we don't have a guest, I'll be here talking about crypto, Luna Classic, Thailand, whatever. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, hopefully on Thursday, some of the projects that we've got in Terra Classic will, put their hands up and come and have a bit of a chat. I mean, you've got Lunc verse I think they're busy kind of creating a way, and then you've got Selenium and obviously kind of Juris and, you know, many other kind of projects out there. And there's tokens being launched on Terraport all the time. Well, you know, they've got the opportunity to kind of promote themselves and publicize themselves. So, you know, hopefully they'll take advantage of that.
Cool. All right. Well, we'll probably see you guys Thursday. If not, see you guys Sunday. This Spaces will be uploaded on YouTube as well if you want to give it a listen. Follow people that are here, Juris, Midas, Coach Bruce, Vita. Do share it with your friends and go buy some Queen. Good night, all.